Okay, so now we're on to the first main section of your write-up. So this is what we would call part two, the knowledge and skills section. So as you can see on the screen, you have up to 500 words approximately, or about 3 minutes, 30 seconds. What we've done in this booklet is given you a series of questions which are guided to answer as we go through, and then we're going to turn those answers into your real draft once you're done. Now, to make the best use of your time, what you want to do is use the wording of the question to guide you. So don't just write dot points, that will be a waste of your life. Instead, I start with some dot points, no worries, and then turn them into sentences. So question one is, before you started, did you know much about your topic? What did you know? Now, clever students who use the question in their answer will know that you take the key words and you use them to your advantage, work smarter, not harder. So for me, I'd be saying something like, before I began this topic, I did not have a lot of information about underwater knitting. However, through the research that I undertook, okay, so something that kind of evaluates my learning as I'm going along. Okay, so you can see I've used the words of the question to respond, so it is in a full sentence because now I am 34 words into my 500 that I owe at the end of the week. So if I just write no, then I still have 499 words to go. Not a good use of time. So then we go on to question two. I'm just going to move it down the page so we can see everything at the same time. And question two says, look at your folio for your key findings and summary notes sections. So remember when we were telling you to do a good job of your folio because it will help you later? This is why. If you worked hard in your folio, your review is going to be a walk in the park. So what you want to do is go back to those key findings and you want to look at what did you say you were learning about, and then you're going to explain where you got that from and why it was important. Now, if you set your folio out properly, you're going to have that laid out for you perfectly. It's going to be awesome. So the way that we structure this is we have a look at one of the things you learned, we figure out where you learned it, and then we explain why it was important to your topic. So please don't talk about, random definitions or random background information that doesn't help. What we want instead is really specific, good, clear, key information. So I'd be starting with something like, one of the most important things that I learned was that underwater knitting is a highly competitive sport. And then I would be explaining where I got that from. This was learned by comparing the perspectives of various academics, such as Dr. X and Dr. Y, who explained yada, 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 whatever they explained. If I wanted to get a little fancy, chuck in a quote. Then I have to explain why it helps me to have this information. So this was useful because I was learning yada, yada, yada. It helped me to answer my question. It made the first focus question better. Maybe it explained academics' perspectives. There's lots of different things that we're going to brainstorm together in class. But, just why did you need that information? That's really where we're at. Then we go on to what were some skills you developed in the research project. Okay. And I've given a list of possible skills you developed. That might not be skills you developed. You might have developed different skills. That's totally fine. But we want you to give us, about 100 or so, 150 words here for question two, and then about the same for this section. So really trying to pinpoint skills that were useful. Don't just randomly pick them off the list if they're not useful to you personally. So we're going to talk about the skills, and then we're going to talk about how you got your information and how that was useful for you. Same thing, about 100 words.